Hello everybody, welcome to Sunday School. This is Miss Mary Ann and I hope you guys are all doing really well and finding lots of wonderful things to do out there in the world. We are continuing talking about Jesus in the second half of the year, and right now we're talking about some things that Jesus did. And one of the things that Jesus is most known for are miracles, these amazing things that are attributed to Jesus, that we are told that Jesus did. Now, when Jesus first started his ministry, first he was baptized. We told that story a few weeks ago. And then he gathered followers. So he got some friends together and some people that he knew that became like his inner circle, his closest group that would travel with him and help support him, but also got to talk to him and learn more about his message. And they are called the disciples. So we'll see a few of those in our story today, those special friends. And then Jesus would go from town to town to preach, to talk and to spread his message. He didn't have a church. He would go from town to town. And eventually, large crowds started gathering to hear him, to hear his message, and because they'd also heard that he had done some of these amazing things. And that is where our story starts today. This huge crowd had gathered. Jesus was by a lake, and this huge crowd had gathered, and it was so big that Jesus actually got in the boat and he preached from the boat. And that is where our story today will pick up. So I do love that image of all these people on the shoreline and Jesus out in this boat and then giving this amazing sermon. So that is where our story starts today. So, and for our story today, we are using the Lion Storyteller Bible, which is the same book we've used the past couple weeks. We'll use a different one next week, but that's what we are using today. So let us start by doing our opening prayer, and then we will get to our story. We will light our candle. And let's just take a second to take a deep breath. You can either close your eyes or look at the candle. God of wonder, loving God, help us to remember that when we feel afraid and stormy inside, that you are always near to help us calm our fears. Teach us to reach out to you and how to hear your guidance. And thank you, as always, for your presence in our lives. Amen. All right, and our story is called The Storm on the Lake. It was a perfect day. The sky was blue and the lake too. And a gentle breeze whipped the wave tips white and foamy. Jesus sat at the side of the lake and talked to the people about God. God is your Father, Jesus said. God dresses the flowers in beautiful colors. God makes sure that the birds have enough to eat. And you are God's sons and daughters. Don't you think that God can clothe and feed you too? So trust God and stop worrying your lives away. When Jesus had finished teaching, he was tired. So he called his closest friends, and together they piled into a boat and set off across the lake for home. Jesus yawned, Jesus stretched. Jesus laid his head down, and to the rhythm of the waves and the rocking of the boat, he fell asleep. It was the perfect end to a perfect day. And then suddenly, the day was not so perfect. The sky turned black and the lake too. A wild wind stirred up the waves, tall and stormy. The boat rocked right, the boat rocked left, The boat rocked up and down. The boat rocked so hard, in fact, that Jesus' friends were sure they were going to drown. But Jesus slept right through it, except maybe for the odd snuffle or snore. Jesus, his friends called. Jesus, wake up, we're going to drown. So Jesus woke up, then he sat up, and then he rubbed his eyes, and he stood up. It was all anybody else could do to stay on their feet, but Jesus stood right up. And then, very calmly, he said to the wind, quiet now. And he said to the waves, settle down. Peace, be still. And the wind and the waves listened. Then Jesus turned to his friends and said, you did not need to be frightened. You didn't need to worry. All you had to do was trust me. See, everything is calm. And so it was. The sky was blue, and the lake too. And little waves splashed happily at the side of the boat. And it was a perfect day again. I wonder what this story made you think about. I wonder if you've ever been in a bad storm. I wonder if you've ever been in a boat. I wonder if you've ever been a boat in a storm. And if so, if you were ever in a boat in a storm, or if you were just in a bad storm, were you afraid? And if you were, what made you feel better? Has there been another time that you were afraid? And if so, was someone there that made you feel better? I wonder what they did or what they said. I wonder what calm means. I wonder what stormy means. I wonder if calm and stormy can describe feelings inside of us. And I wonder if there are ever things that are like storms in our lives. I wonder. It's a lot of questions. I wonder what part of the story you liked best. I wonder what part of the story is the most important. And I wonder what you are going to do this week. I hope you find something really fun and cool to do. That was a lot of questions today, so I think that will be enough. Let us go ahead and we will do our closing prayer. Just want to give you a little heads up before we go, though, that in a couple weeks, we are going to be starting a whole new series that are going to be all about Jesus's teachings, and we're using a different system. So I'm really excited to share that with you, and I hope that you will join us for that. And don't forget, we are also always having Sunday school on Zoom, and I would love for you to join us on that too, and get to see your faces and also play some games. We've been having a good time, so just want to put that back out there that we are doing that as well. So let us do our closing prayer. Bring our candle back and let us do our closing prayer. Loving God, thank you for the times that bring us close to you and to each other. Help us to remember that you are always with us. Amen. And I will change this light so that the light of Christ can be with you wherever you go and wherever you are. This light will find you and it will be there when you need it. Blessings, everybody. Take care out there.